The sun had just begun to rise over the small desert town of Red Mesa, turning the sky into soft shades of orange and gold. I had woken early, like I always did, to go fetch water from the well behind our ranch. The mornings were quiet, peaceful, my favorite time of day. I didn't expect anything unusual that day. Certainly not her. As I walked toward the well, I noticed someone standing there. At first, I thought it was my friend Daniel, but as I got closer, my heart suddenly jumped. It was his mother, Mrs. Evelyn Carter, the woman everyone in town secretly admired but never said a word about. She was graceful, soft-spoken, and carried herself with a kind of sadness that always made people feel protective of her. She had been alone for years after her husband died in an accident. Since then, she handled the ranch, the house, and her son's needs all by herself. She turned when she heard my footsteps. Her brown hair was tied up loosely, strands falling on her face as the morning light touched her cheeks. She looked beautiful in a way that made my breath stop. "Oh, good morning," she said with a gentle smile. "You're up early again." "Morning, ma'am," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. "Just came for water." She stepped aside to make room for me, but her eyes stayed on my face longer than usual. Something in her gaze felt different, like she was reading a page of a book she had never noticed before. "You look tired," she said softly. "Did you not sleep well?" I shrugged, avoiding her eyes. "Just thinking about things." She tilted her head, curious. "Something bothering you?" I didn't dare answer. How could I tell her that she was the reason I barely slept? That I had spent the last month trying not to fall in love with someone I should never even think about? She sighed lightly and rested her hands on the well's wooden edge. "You know. I've seen the way you look at me sometimes." My heart froze. A jolt ran down my spine. I turned sharply. "Ma'am, I swear I didn't mean." She held up a hand. "Relax. I'm not angry." I swallowed hard. Then she added quietly, "But this morning, you looked at me like you wanted more than just water." My throat went dry. Her voice wasn't accusing. It wasn't harsh. It was soft. Curious. Almost hopeful. I tried to speak, but words failed. She stepped closer. I felt her warmth before she even touched me. "Tell me the truth," she whispered. "Did I misunderstand? Or is there something in your heart you're afraid to say?" I finally forced myself to meet her eyes. There was no judgment there. No anger. Just warmth, and a fragile longing hidden deep inside. "I would never disrespect you," I said quietly. "You're my friend's mother. You're someone I admire more than I should." Her breath caught. "More than you should," she repeated. "Why does that sound so much like you're holding yourself back?" I looked away, fingers tightening around the bucket. "Because it's wrong." She stepped even closer, so close I could smell the soft lavender scent of her morning soap. "Is it wrong," she whispered, "to want something, or someone, who makes you feel alive again?" My chest tightened. Her words weren't just for me, they came from her wounds, from her lonely years, from her quiet longing for companionship. "Evelyn," I spoke her first name for the very first time. It felt like a confession. She inhaled sharply, like that single word touched a place she had kept locked for years. "You shouldn't say my name like that," she whispered. "Why?" I asked. "Because," her voice trembled. "Because it makes me feel something I haven't felt in a very long time." The wind brushed past us, carrying dust and soft golden light. She reached out slowly, her fingers brushing the back of my hand. The touch was warm, careful, testing my reaction. I didn't move away. "Tell me," she said softly. "When you look at me, what do you truly see?" I took a deep breath. "I see a woman who deserves to be loved," I said. "A woman who's stronger than she knows. A woman who makes the whole world quieter when she smiles." Her eyes glistened. For a moment she looked almost vulnerable, like no one had spoken to her heart in years. "No one looks at me like that," she whispered. "I do," I answered. "Every day. Even when I try not to." Silence settled between us, heavy, warm, filled with unspoken desire. She moved closer until her forehead rested gently against my chest. I froze, afraid even to breathe. Her voice came muffled, but clear. "I'm lonely," she admitted. "So lonely I sometimes forget I'm still alive. But when you look at me, I feel like someone sees me again." My arms moved on their own, wrapping around her slowly, giving her time to step away if she wished. She didn't. Instead, she relaxed into me, her hands sliding up my back. After a long moment, she stepped back, though her fingers lingered on mine. "We can't rush this," she said softly. "Your friend, the town, it's complicated." "I know. But," she added, eyes searching mine, "I don't want you to avoid me anymore." I smiled faintly. "I don't think I could even if I tried." She gave a shy laugh, one filled with new hope. "Walk me home?" she asked. "Yes," I said instantly. As we walked side by side toward her house, the sun rose fully, bathing the land in bright gold. And though no promises were spoken, something had changed. A door had opened. A bridge had formed. Two lonely hearts, one young, one seasoned, had finally found the courage to step a little closer. And that morning, as the desert wind carried our quiet footsteps, I realized something. Sometimes love doesn't ask permission. It just happens when two souls finally recognize each other.